Welcome to SciTech Culture with Steve Kern and Ben Warner, where we examine science, technology, and culture in the 21st century. Visit our website at scitechculture.com. Hello and welcome to SciTech Culture, the show where we discuss science, technology, and culture in its myriad of forms. My name is Ben Warner, and I'm joined once again by my good friend and colleague Steve Kern. How are we today, Steve? You ready? Getting into Christmas now? It's December.
Yeah, hi Ben, hi everyone, and thank you for reminding me it was Christmas. I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Well, you must have been avoiding all the shops and all that sort of thing. We're gonna go for a cultural topic today. We talk a lot about science and technology a lot of the time, but we're going to talk about Christmas because we're all getting fired up this week. All my colleagues and I, and we were just saying, I could have sworn when I was growing up, Steve, that all the Christmas stuff started coming out at the earliest late November. And there's been that trend. The stores, I think this year might have gone a little bit later, as in they did it at the beginning of September. Last year it was in mid-August. Putting all of their, stuff to buy out 3-4 months ahead of time. And you're going to just kind of say, really, I mean, it's almost against the spirit of the thing. I almost feel like that, in my head, it ticks over to the 1st of December and I start thinking about it. Not in mid-August.
Yeah. Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there. There's Christmas spirit.
Yep.
But then I've heard it in the traditional media also described as retail spirit. And They're two very different things. So I think it's just, obviously the retail market just trying to spread Christmas to as long and as wide as they can, because some guy with a bar chart probably worked out you'll sell more Christmas gifts.
But how far does it go? They can't, start selling Christmas stuff in February. They can't keep pushing it back that far, or can they? They just have a permanent Christmas fixture on level 5 in the department store, and you can just go in and get whatever you want, or
like careful, Ben. Someone might hear that. I reckon that would work.
I'm not. Well, that's why I can see it happening.
Look, it's going to happen. It's only a question of when. But look, this is a bit of a big data thing. So to relate it back to science, part of this, every part of our retail experience is now analysed. Yeah. Usually around 3 main things, which is when you bought, in terms of the date, and what might have been going on around that time, how long it took you to purchase, and then obviously, what you pay for whatever it is you purchase. So, they're always trying to get those tills ka-chinging with Christmas cheer, and
that's an understatement, to be sure.
Well, I think they've done it very subversively. I mean, the post-Christmas sales are effectively a continuation of Christmas sales, the other side of the date. And they've been doing that for years. That's been very clever. But that only tends to last a week. I can definitely see them moving Christmas further around. I mean, let's face it, there's been the whole Christmas in July movement. Around for a while, and I don't see any reason personally not to have 2 Christmases a year.
I mean, I can understand if it's a chance to, take some time off and celebrate, we can always do that at any time.
Why it has to need a UN sanctioned day off in the middle of the year, June 21st maybe, to celebrate a second Christmas.
I mean, I can kind of understand the sales thing after Christmas, and actually if you're a clever Christmas shopper, you'd go after Christmas and buy all the stuff for next year when it's 75% off or whatever, especially when it comes to decorations and things like that. There's an argument, there's a few articles I was reading on it where retailers are basically saying, a bit like how you're saying, they've analysed shopping patterns, gotten some feedback, etc. They want to start it earlier because people apparently plan these things a bit more in advance. They want to do their shopping crazily enough in August. I thought, part of the festive spirit was actually buying the stuff in the festive season
at the last minute.
Yeah, that's what you should. That's what everyone should do.
Devastation.
And but it just sort of rang hollow for me. I can understand maybe, but what about everyone else? the first thing I hear is, and it happened last year around August as well. People came back into the office and they just said, "Oh, all the Christmas decorations are up," and it was done in that kind of, real dismissive tone, like, "Yep, they're at it again," and it feeds into this idea of, even though it's been like this for years, obviously, but this just corporatized commercialization of an event like this. And I actually feel like, especially compared to, say, the 80s when I was growing up, I felt the Christmas season then, but I'm not sure if I'm feeling it anymore because it's just become numbing to have it there for about 4 months.
Well, look, when it's, basically being distilled down to gift cards, I think once gift cards came in, that was a big game changer, really. And at that point, then, what are you giving? Really, you're just giving nothing. It's just a customary exchange of gifts. I think the good thing about Christmas is that hasn't changed, and technology hasn't really changed it, is that generally places that celebrate Christmas do pretty much stop on December the 25th. Yeah. So it's pretty amazing in our modern world that the world kind of stops. And only kind of now, because a lot of service industry things, particularly around hospitality, still open, usually on Christmas morning or do a lunch, that sort of thing. But everything slows down. Even social media slows down at Christmas. It's amazing.
Something had to slow it down.
Oh, yeah, but, people, are all doing the same thing. Sure, you all get the same pictures, but I think everyone sort of just does slow down that bit. After, of course, obviously from December 20th to the 24th is just crazy time. Yeah. And that's kind of nice. I think to me that's Christmas now. I celebrate 1 week. Yeah. Either side.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely no problem with any of that too, because I've always enjoyed, obviously for some people it's not always the best time of the year, but I've always been fortunate enough to think of this time of the year as a sort of a fun, relaxing type of time of the year where you can just sort of check out for a while and just sort of relax. But obviously there's a lot of people that's not the case too, and we kind of have to think of them as well. So what if in a lot of these people's minds who associate Christmas with a negative sort of context, what are they going to be thinking when all this stuff is going to be there for months and months on end going forward? I know that's what are you going to do? The retailers are going to do what they're going to do, but I think just that real that's like that separation of the event as a sort of a human, experience has been, to me, has been hijacked in a big way by the commercial interests of retailers and whoever else that thinks they can make money of it. It's like the old George Costanza line, it never ends, because he, before, and, this is a broader question too, not just about Christmas, but about all these public holidays where you have to buy gifts or cards or whatever. It seems like just when you finish one, the next one's right around the corner.
Well, that's what they're doing. And let's face it, we're being manipulated more and more by marketing, very clever marketing, very subtle marketing, neuromarketing, of course, which is, using visual and audio cues to get you to purchase. And, obviously in our social media feeds, we get targeted advertising. It's all very clever, and it converts you to that way of thinking. I don't think we've jumped the shark on this sort of stuff yet, but I think we're getting close.
And on top of
that's when it just becomes one big retail opportunity.
Yeah, and that's where the that rampant sort of consumerism comes in. That there's a lot of stuff being bought that might end up getting thrown out pretty quickly thereafter. Buying stuff that you don't need or that someone else doesn't need, kind of thing.
I'm afraid there's a lot of that.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because it's, again, goes against the whole festive spirit of it all. But it's the 1st of December, so now I'm okay with going through a store and seeing all the stuff up. We were having a big debate in the office where I basically put my foot down and said none of the decorations are going up before the 1st of December. But I did have one of the staff, one of my team members there, twist my arm to put it up on the 30th of November because she didn't work the rest of the week, so she wasn't in on the 1st or the 2nd this week. So I thought, oh well, I'll be nice this time.
well done, Ben. That's very kind of you. Very Christmassy.
Yeah.
No Grinch there.
We'll have a nice Christmas lunch at any rate. Just changing tack, just 2 smaller topics I wanted to cover. I was talking last week about, batch capturing old tapes and whatnot. And right as we're filming this right now, I've got my other Mac batch capturing tapes in the background, like a factory, going through all of that. And it's a fascinating experience. And just as a sort of anyone who might be in the same position to be doing this sort of thing, it just pays to just test your workflow beforehand before you go in and batch capture 400 tapes, because you want to make sure that you get the basically what's on the tape onto your computer or hard drive or cloud or wherever you're going to store it in the exact same quality that is on the tape. And as I discovered, it wasn't quite as straightforward, because time's moved on, and a lot of the current software doesn't necessarily cover the ability to handle these old legacy formats, and I had to dig out some old software to make it work, etc. And it's fascinating. So just do a bit of research on that, and make sure that it works.
Post on this, Ben.
Absolutely. When I finally get to the end of it, of course.
Yeah, because I know every time I attempt something like this, it's Dr. Google that saves us. So if you've done it, someone else will be trying to do it.
Absolutely. And Google, I was, we were just having a joke before we got on about another experience with your phone. Did you want to maybe mention that quickly?
Well, I don't know, for whatever reason. After the last Android update, I can't open Ben's attachments sent to me. I can see them. They appear to be recognised. The title appears fine.
Yeah.
And so there's the .pdf at the end, but I had to go and get an Android file viewer app with lots of Uber ads in it to read today's show notes.
Yeah, that's I had to laugh when you sent that back to me, but I just thought, they should probably get onto that in terms of.
I couldn't open it using a Word document, and I couldn't using a Word app, and I couldn't open it using a PDF app, an Adobe PDF app. So. I might have to,
if that's the case, I might have to send it to you in Word format. Then hopefully, it'll work, I guess. But
yes, I thought PDF was universal. Yeah, anyway, this great new app I've got, it just reads anything.
Absolutely.
All right. Over 100 file types. I didn't even know there were 100 file types.
Well, there you go. You can. We'll be able to get some variety in there. I might fire off a couple of different versions to you next time.
Let's see if we can break the app.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Steve, we might wrap it up there. Any last Christmassy type thoughts before we close out?
I put up some Christmas lights on the tree out the front of my place this week, and maybe I'll go and get some more now.
Yeah, and decorate the rest of them.
So no expense once they're purchased.
I will say, just as a final thought, that I really love the big family Christmas get-togethers we used to have when we were growing up. And if you're fortunate enough to still be in that position, and obviously without family members getting stuck into each other or anything like that, enjoy that time, because it's not necessarily something that is always going to be there. And it's a really good time to do that sort of thing. Just get everyone together, get everyone eating and drinking and, having fun.
And then compare it all on your Fitbits or whatever other data logging you're doing.
Yes. Exactly. All right, we'll wrap it up there. So don't forget our website, SciTechCulture.com. You can get all of our links and content there, and subscribe to us. We'd really appreciate that. You can interact with us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'd love to hear from you. Got our photography on Instagram and Flickr. And go to SciTechCulture.com. Send anyone who you think might be interested in these topics that Steve and I cover on a regular basis, and get them to subscribe, and they'll get all the latest updates. All right, so that's it for this episode. We'll catch you next time.